morning. It is July 10, 2026. We got the real good spooky vibe here at 5:05 a.m. for a spooky little read. So, the author of the book, What the Woods Keep, Malcom Thomas. I don't know if you can see it in the corner there, a little walkie-talkie. There will be a big picture of the cover for the book. The walkie-talkie was essential in the story. I just want to throw that in. But this book is an advanced reader copy, an ARC read. And I have dived into the first 100 pages. So am I going to give it stars? Yeah, I'm going to give it 4 stars because I did like the creativity, the originality of the story. I had read The Hollow by Malcom Thomas. I guess, how long has it been? I want to say about 5-6 months ago. Maybe less than that, maybe 3 or 4 months ago. Something to that effect. And I really liked the premise. Really good character building with all the different characters. The Hollow felt like it slowed down a bit, I will say. Since I'm not talking about and reviewing The Hollow directly, I will just go ahead and be a little bit more critical of it because I felt like it slowed down a bit. This one, What the Woods Keep, doesn't do that. It has the same character building. It kind of goes along the same guidelines, like you get a little bit and then you kind of take a step back. You get a little bit more, take a step back. And it works really effectively for this particular book, which I'll be reading shortly. So definitely 4 stars with this particular one. It is available in September and is on KU Kindle Unlimited and also ebook, print, all that stuff. Unfortunately, I don't have the print because it's an advanced read copy. So without further ado, I will go ahead and get into the read of it. And I think I might do an additional audio available after that. I think I'll go ahead and do that because, hey, why not? Some people have told me I have a really good voice for horror. I don't know. What the Woods Keep, a novel by Malcom Thomas. There goes good use of my voice. Let's see. There is a psalm that is quoted. When I kept silent, my bones wasted away through my groaning all day long. I think that one's pretty much perfect for the story. Yeah, definitely perfect. Psalm 32, by the way. Chapter 1. I was 12 that summer. That is the age that people use when they want to make a thing smaller than it was. I was 12 and I knew enough. Not all of it. Not what I knew now. Not what I know now. All the years it took to learn the rest. But enough. Great intro. Because that's what it's like when you're 12. There's so many things going on. It's an awkward time in life. You're a genius. You're an idiot. Whole lot going on. Perfect intro. I'll start with Cindy. Not because her part of it came first, though it did, because the rest of it doesn't have any shape without her, mine included. So this one, it breaks with the 3 little asterisks. I did not see that or gather that for some weird reason. When I first read it, I had to go back and realize it was a layered story, but that's kind of my mistake. Cindy was in the treehouse when the 2 men came down to the water. She had been up there since before dark. The woods went black past the creek and the way it always did, and she stopped being afraid of that a long time ago. This is the one place that was hers. The man with the warm voice had been everywhere in Cutler's Creek that summer. He was some kind of pastor, ran the little church at the edge of town, the white frame building with gravel lot and the hand-painted sign. Cindy had seen him for a distance, big shoulders, easy in his own body, a laugh adults trusted too quickly. She had also seen grown women go quiet when he passed. She was not the kind of kid who went to church. She was the kind who found a treehouse and kept it. She had not planned to stay that long. In the late afternoon, she'd come out like she did most days when things at home reached a certain level, not running, just removing herself before things got worse. Somebody had built the treehouse years ago and abandoned it. The wood had gone gray. 2 boards of the floor had 2 spots you had to remember to step around. The tin roof popped in the heat and settled as evening cooled. She knew those sounds well enough to stop hearing them. She meant to go home before the dark came in. It came anyway. The walkie-talkies were beside her on the boards. She found them the year before at a yard sale on the way out of Monroe, both for $2. Since she got there, she'd been talking to one of them. That was the one thing about the walkie-talkie. Into it, Cindy could hear things that she'd not hear anywhere else. She could say, "Do you copy?" She could say, "Come in." She could say, "I'm still here," and pretend somebody on the other end was glad to hear it. At home, there was no one to say things to. Here, the static listened. From the other walkie-talkie, static was only static. From the one in her hand, it was somebody there, not talking. She knew the difference. She lay on her stomach with her arms folded under her chin. Tree frogs and creek insects filled the night, the whole enormous sound of the woods pressing in around her. indifferent to whatever she was there or not. So when the light appeared between the trunks, she sat up, slow. She held herself still, very still, and watched the light. Her mouth had gone dry. She held her breath and did not make a sound. 2 lights. She hadn't seen the second one at first. Closer to the ground, not as strong. The second person was following. Their voices reached her before she could make out words. What she heard first was warmth. Then she heard resistance. She lay back down and pressed herself into the boards. The board's edge found her ribs immediately, the same spot it always found. She did not shift to avoid it, did not move at all. "Let me explain something to you," the warm voice said. The lights had stopped moving. About 30 yards from the base of her tree, she could see the shapes, but not their faces. 2 men facing each other. The big one held the flashlight. The other man was smaller, thinner, worn down in a way that could do nothing with sleep. Let me that kid. The other man was smaller, thinner, worn down in a way that had nothing to do with sleep. His light hung at his side. He had just like a man who thought his conversation would happen indoors. "I don't need you to explain anything," the thinner man said. "Oh, I think you do." The warm voice had patience in it, like a teacher who has said the same thing many times. "I think you came here looking for something, and you found a story you'd already decided was true. Before you arrived, I've seen it happen. People hear things. They fill in what they don't know." "I didn't fill in anything. You looked through a window. I saw what I saw." A pause. The big man shifted his weight. A settling. Cindy's jaw tightened, watching it. "What do you think you saw?" he said. "You know what I saw. Tell me." "No," the thinner man's voice was flat. "You don't get to start over just because they don't know your name here." Exhaustion crossed his face. I came because somebody should have." He stopped, swallowed. "I just wanted you to say it." The big man was quiet for a long moment. He turned his head slightly, listening to the woods around them. Then he said, very quietly, "You're confused." The thin man laughed. "Confused?" he said. "Okay. You've been on the road. You're not eating right. A man in your situation. You're going to do it again." The big man did not respond. "You're going to do it again," the thin man said, quieter. He stopped, started over. "I watched you for 2 weeks before I came to you. I kept thinking I was wrong. I kept looking for the part where I was wrong." Cindy did not breathe. She was 12. She didn't understand all of it. She understood enough. The light shifted, just slightly. "I'm going to ask you," the warm voice said, the warmth almost entirely gone, "to think very carefully about what you're doing here. I already thought about it, years of thinking. There are people who depend on me, people who get hurt. You understand that you're talking about just isn't about me." "It's about what you did," the thin man said. "You kept putting other people in front of it." A silence opened between them. The thin man gathered himself. He stepped forward. He looked up at the bigger man's face and stopped trying to find words. He spat in his face. Ooh, I think that's all I'm going to read because, quite frankly, the rest of it starts to get a little bit dark. So I'm going to go ahead and stop there and talk a little bit about why I'm giving it 4 stars. This story has a lot of darkness in it, and that's really the premise of What the Woods Keep. Would I say it was a disturbing darkness? A little bit. It had a little bit of disturbing darkness. And I don't want to say that it was reminiscent of other horror authors from times before, but the reality is it was really good. It packed a lot of punch. It had a lot of heart to it, a lot of hit within the first 100 pages, and I'm pretty excited to read the rest. Is it going to slow down? I don't know that it is, because basically there's a really good rhythm going on, and I'm really happy with the read so far. So pretty impressed by the first 100 pages. So let me reiterate. Lost my train of thought right there. Yes, Malcolm Thomas, What the Woods Keep. Really good book. And I actually got it through the Book Sirens ARC reading system that he has set up. I kind of like that also. I really wish there was a ARC reader platform where, like Book Sirens, it did a lot of really good follow-up, but it also, like Inside Story, which is one of the ones that I use, it attached an email to the copy. So basically, I mean, with an ARC copy, you can send a copy to whoever you want. If you're a dishonest person or honest person, however you want to look at it. And, if you send it with your email, you're less likely to send it out because then your email is everywhere, and that's not really a popular thing to do. So I really like that, and I don't think Book Sirens does that. I'm going to check really quick because I know it gives the what do you call it? The hey, this is an art copy. Be discreet who you give it to, all that stuff. Let me go ahead and go through that. I don't think it attaches. Yeah, no, it doesn't attach an email to it. Yeah, talks about what an art copy is, all that good stuff. So definitely a thumbs up, 4 stars. Really happy with the read, and I think that's it for right now. There will be, I think, an additional audio just below, since some people get tired looking at my face. No, I'm just kidding. So I think that's it. If you made it with me this far, thank you very much. If you didn't make it this far, hey, I tried. We'll see you next time. If you have any suggestions for books that I should read, go ahead and leave them in the comments.